Cut the music.
Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto Channel. We are live on the, what is today? Gosh, I can't keep up. Thursday. I think it's Thursday. Welcome back, guys. Good to see you guys. Glad you're here. Guys, we've got a good stream today. I think we're going to do a little bit of Bitcoin, but nothing's changed. Bitcoin's exactly where it was yesterday. So we've already done that analysis. We're going to do a little bit, though. And then I want to make this a little more about altcoins. A lot of folks are seeing some altcoin pumpage and getting all excited and starting to think about some long-term holds, which is good. That's cool. But a lot of you are making, in my opinion, massive mistakes. And there's things that I don't think you're looking at. And maybe you are, but I don't think you are. It took me years before I started looking at this stuff, and it is a game changer. So I'm going to show you what that is. I'm going to show you a couple of examples, and then I'm going to take your requests, and I'm going to show you how you can go and do this kind of stuff for your own before you make a massive mistake, guys. Massive, potentially life-changing mistake, or at least missing out on life-changing gains. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm dead serious. So stay tuned with me. Put your alts in chat. I got a little poll going. You can hit up that poll. I think the fourth option is other. If you're choosing other, please put your alt in chat. I may not go through a full analysis on all of them as far as tokenomics goes, which is what we're going to cover today, but I will show you how, and we'll take a quick glance at some of them depending on how many we get in. But yeah, that's going to be the stream. So just a little bit different today because you're going to have to, in my opinion, start positioning yourself in some of these alts relatively quick. So you want to make sure you're looking at the right ones. Don't get married to an altcoin, okay? Just because you used one last cycle, I don't care. I made that mistake last cycle. This like 2 cycles ago, I was on Algorand, made a lot of money on it. I was like, yeah, this coin, that's great. I was married to it, and I just stuck with it rather than checking out what I needed to check out. And it flopped last cycle, but I was married to it. Big mistake, because Algorand don't care about your relationship. Okay? None of these coins do. So do not get married to a coin just because you like it, just because you're familiar with it. So what? So what? Get familiar with another coin if it has better potential. And by the way, when we get on the alts, listen, I already know. Some people are going to be like, but this coin, the team is this, the team is that, partnership here. I don't care about any of that. I'm not discussing fundamentals. I don't know what these things got going. I don't know which ones are going to, become a national currency somewhere or blah, blah, blah. Any of that crap. That can happen to any coin, right? But 99.9999% of coins will have none of that. Okay? If you get one that it gets that and it catches fire and it gets the hype and all the marketing and some partnerships with Google and this, great. But you can't count on that. So when I show you this, it's strictly from a technical standpoint, okay? All the rest, you can do your research on the team and the projects and the upcoming releases and hard forks and all that nonsense, which is great. It helps to hype a coin. I can't tell you how many coins have had a scheduled partnership or a scheduled merger here, a scheduled this, and the can gets kicked down the road for 2 years. I can't tell you how many times it happens. So just don't bank on that. At the end of the day, look at the technicals. And if you get one with good tokenomics and good technicals and things I'm about to show you, that's all you need. And then if later you get some fundamental news that steps in, freaking great. Awesome. That's just a bonus. But if you don't, no worries. You're still on a good coin technically, okay? Let's look at bit of corn here. Let's see who's here first. Sorry, guys. Gosh, look at me. Johnny, number 5, first in chat. Johnny says, fetch my coin, my man. I have fetch pre-analyzed and ready to roll. Joe Bowers, West Coast. What's up, dude? Revamp. What's up, brother? Revamp says Sui and Ave. I was scoping out the chat while I was watching the countdown, and I'm glad you said Sui. I said it's one of the examples I have pre-analyzed and will have ready. You do not want to miss this. Guys, I'm going to show you Sui. I had somebody message me about Sui yesterday. In my opinion, I'm going to show you why. If you get on Sui, you're making a massive mistake. Okay? Massive. I know it looks good. I know. And this thing could go to the moon. But I'm going to show you the reasons why it won't, and it will not even set a new all-time high. Could it? Sure it could. But I'm going to show you why it likely won't. Not even close. Thanos, what's up? Thanos, my main man. Hadn't seen you in a couple weeks, brother. Good to see you back, man. Love you. Miss you, bro. Eons, what's up? Salt Chain says crew. Jack Swabber, what's up, buddy? Oh, the WorldCoin. WorldCoin's one of others. I'll be honest, guys. What I'm about to show you on WorldCoin is terrible. WorldCoin is awful. If I were to look at what I'm about to show you on WorldCoin, I would tell you to never, ever, ever, ever touch this coin. I'm kind of married to it, though. I'm doing exactly what I told you not to do. But I know that WorldCoin is one of those, like, it is literally could be world changing. And I'm not exaggerating that. The iris scan technology, the need for privacy and human verification. And it has Sam Altman, who is co-creator with Elon Musk of ChatGPT. So it's got a really good creator who's very well connected. And he's pushing for global change with WorldCoin. And it's just one of those, if it hits, if it catches, it is going to, it's going to turn heads. I mean, it is going to rip but technically it's dog poop. Morning, Hawkborn. All right, we got the crew here. Good to see you guys. Look at Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin right at 81K. If you're looking for a trade this morning, there's really nothing. There's zero. I have a zero edge as far as the two major markets. Asia's fully back open now. Japan, China, UK is open. Everything is open, and there is nothing. You normally look for a trending market, or at least some sort of edge. Asia trended down, then they spiked up late. UK completely reversed that, then they reversed that. So, I mean, there's nothing. Like, literally, where did Asia open? Asia opened right in here, and prices. I mean, you're right where you open. Like, there's nothing. There's nothing. Again, Asia trended down, then they trended up. UK reversed that, then UK reversed themselves. And now, who knows? This is literally a coin flip. As far as guessing or predicting based upon the previous two markets, there's nothing. There's nothing here. Asia low has been swept. Asia high has been swept. UK high and UK low still remain. So I really don't know. I really don't know. I mean, we could certainly watch the vector candles and look for our typical 845 trade, but normally when we look for the 845 trade, we like to have a trending market. So we're trending down through Asia, down through UK. And so we want to see the US open with a red vector, and 845 sees that green vector that comes and takes it all. We don't have that today. I'll turn the vectors on anyway, though. We got a couple minutes for the market opens. News. Nothing today, but flashbang, guys. Tomorrow, big news reports tomorrow. You have at 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, non-farm payrolls and unemployment. Both of these are very big reports. Unemployment being the bigger of the two, but they're both really big, and they're predicting a big change. Here's the surprising one. Here's the one. Unemployment is predicted to stay the same, so we'll see. But non-farm payrolls is predicted to drop from 178K to 65K. That is a big drop. Not likely to hit, okay? That is a big drop. What do I know? Maybe it hits exactly, but that is a big drop, much bigger than usual. Usually you go like 178 to like 160. This is over 100,000 drop. That's big. So both these reports come out at the same time tomorrow. Big volatility. Expect big volatility if one or both of these miss the mark. U.S. opening in 1 minute. Let's look at let me go to the weekly here. So we have a week from tomorrow, a new FOMC chair. Now, what actually happened? So hear me out. First of all, we have a new FOMC chair. Jerome Powell's last day is next Friday, okay? And then we have this Kevin Warsh coming in next Friday. So each time, there's not a lot of history for Bitcoin because this only happens every 4 years. You get a new chair, but each time a new chair is sworn in, this is the weekly chart. So the week that he's sworn in, here's what the market has done for Bitcoin. First week, this is back in 2014 when Janet Yellen was sworn in. 24% drop that first week, and over the next month was a 51% drop in Bitcoin. Jerome was sworn in 2018, first week 26%, first month 20%, so you actually bounced, got about a 6% pump. Still down 20% from his swear-in, but 26% the first week, so 24, 26 down in the first week. And then in 2022, Jerome stayed in office, but there was the swear-in ceremony nonetheless, and that first week was a 7% drop, followed by a 42% drop over the course of a month. So a little trend here. I know it's only 3 iterations, so, not something you want to bet the farm on, but something to take note of. Each time you rallied into this, though, each time, it's kind of hard to see, but each time you rallied into this, right, the couple weeks prior, you rallied into the swear-in, right, and then you dumped afterwards, right? Rallied into it, dumped after, rallied into it, dumped after, and here you, for about the month before, I know you had the big dump, but then you rallied into it and then continued to dump after. So a little rally for 3 or 4 weeks prior to, and then dump into it, okay? And likewise, here we are. We're coming into it. This will be next Friday. So one thing to note, though, so you rally into it, could we dump from it? One thing to note, next Friday is Jerome's last day. And they haven't announced officially, they don't have to swear in Kevin Warsh that day. The last time Jerome's tenure ended on a Saturday, and they swore him in that Monday, okay? So they haven't actually announced it. So this could happen anytime, either next Friday or Monday. They haven't announced either way. Officially, Jerome is out on Friday, so we just don't know. Either way, what we would expect is not this coming week that starts on Sunday. We wouldn't that candle doesn't count. It'll be the following candle, okay? So the candle that starts on May 18th. That is the week we want to watch for a possible big old dump if this is going to follow trend. Okay, guys? Market's open. Dumbing down a little bit. I want to show you something, what I think is kind of interesting. I'm going to throw on volume. I'm going to show you the examples of this volume. So just a super simple volume. I'm going to go to daily volume. I'm going to show you why I don't think. So I do think that the bottom is in, the low, but I don't think this is it. I don't think we're out of the woods yet. I do think at some point in time, whether it's in a couple weeks, today, 2-3 months, I do think we come back down, sweep some of this. Probably don't take the low before we move up and out of here, right? I'm going to show you what we're looking for, what we've gotten every time in the past. I've shown you multiple things, but let me show you this that I have not shown you yet. All right. So I'm going to go back in the past. Let's go all the way back to previous bear markets. Let's go back to 2014. 2014, we have the bear market. And what I want you to pay attention to, I have these arrows right there. And I have them marking out these huge red volume spikes. You can see, hopefully you can see this on the chart. Let me slide this over. Hopefully you can see this on the chart. But they're much larger spikes. See, you got most of the volume is down in here, a little bit up in here. And you got this volume spike there, volume spike there, volume spike there. These are red volume spikes. Each one of them leads to the big drop, right? Until the third one is the final drop, right? Final drop. You can see those, right? 1, 2, 3. That is the end of the bear market. All right, let's fast forward to 2018. All right, so it started the bear market from the top of the bull market. Oh, and by the way, 2014, this little orange line down at the bottom is showing you that on this, before this final big red volume spike, you had this little increase here. You can see a little baby increase kind of leading into that. Right here, this little pump up was on decreasing volume. Okay, decreasing volume. Okay, meaning most of this was probably liquidations, but decreasing volume. You can see decreasing volume, and then boom, big red volume spike to wipe everybody out. And then you can see it wasn't immediate, but you did V-shape and then recover, and then eventually up and out. Okay, pay attention to that. So let's fast forward to 2018. From the as soon as you set the high, you had the big red volume spike, right? Right here. Boom. Right there. Brings you down, right? Kind of recover a little. Then you come back and you got another big spike. Boom. right here. It brings you down, second spike. Then on your final one, you can see here you had decreasing volume, right? While price is kind of going up. A little more flat, but slightly up, a little more flat. Either way, it gives you a volume divergence there, right into the final big capitulation volume spike, right? 3 volume spikes, 3 big volume spikes, and then it's over, right? Yeah, you grinded a little, but it was over. Even if you wanted to say, okay, well, this one wasn't it, and you still set another low back here, fine. This is actually even bigger volume spike here. This was the C19 volume spike, and hey, it happened. So it is a bigger volume spike, but yeah, that's great if we want to count. That one, yeah, it took a longer period of time, and you stayed elevated for a little while before you got this one, but big volume spike, and that was it, up and out. So either way, but I do think most likely without the C19 pandemic, you don't get this. And this was the final spike, and you probably should have consolidated and continued up and out. But it did happen. So either way you want to look at it, you got 3 big spikes. Let's fast forward 2022 on decreasing volume. 2022. So you set the high up here, right? 69K. Okay. Once you set the high, your first big volume spike, red volume candle, right? Red volume spike, excuse me. Boom, right there. Got the big capitulation wick, okay? You recovered. Boom. What happens? Decreasing volume. Another spike, right? Capitulation wick. What happens? Chop around the bear market for a little while. Decreasing volume. A third red volume spike. Much higher than, see, you can see the difference. Everything's down here, and you got these 3 big ones up here. Boom. Final capitulation. Grind. Gone. Next stop, 126K, right? Let's look at today. Let's look at this cycle. All right. So you got the high, 126K, right? All right. So we set the high, 126K. As soon as we set the high, shortly thereafter, we get the first big volume spike. You see volumes down here, right? Pretty much down there. Then boom, you got this red spike, much higher. All right. What happens? Recover from that, grind up, recover on decreasing volume, right? Decreasing volume right here at the end and increased, big spike, capitulation wick, okay? Number 2, right? What happens then? We recover, which is what we're in now, on decreasing volume. I'm telling you guys, how is price increasing while volume's decreasing? These are not buyers. If they were I'm on the daily time frame. These are not buyers. If there was buyers, this would be increasing like it is in a bull market, right? You can see in a bull market, this stuff is increasing, right? Even when you get the drops, increasing, right? You get the drops, increasing. You're decreasing now, guys, clearly. What does that mean? Every cycle before us had 3 big volume spike. Each one are preceded by a move to the upside on decreasing volume. What do you think is fixing to happen, guys? Eventually, this week, next week, 2-3 months from now, I don't know when. I know this thing is decreasing almost to 0 here. It is really low, even compared to other low times. You're going to have, I'm telling you guys, somewhere in here in the next coming weeks, you're going to have one of these big red volume spikes. You're going to see a big capitulation wick that looks like this. It doesn't have to take the low. Okay, it doesn't have to take the low. In fact, a lot of times back, the only time it never took the low. The third one never, I don't think, maybe it did. I don't know. We're not going to go back and look. It doesn't matter. You're going to get a big capitulation wick and a big capitulation, big red volume candle. And then you're probably going to grind and go. Okay, but it's coming. You can see, you can forecast this. Number one, you can use past history, historical data to show that this is what happens every time. Number two, okay, well, just because it happens every time doesn't mean it has to happen this time. Correct. However, read the writing on the wall. You have increasing price on decreasing volume. It is going to happen. It is going to happen. It is the same setup. You can see it. It is setting up exactly the same. I would argue that this time is different if this was increasing volume. I would say, okay, yeah, we capitulated here, but now we have increasing volume here. We have increasing volume. So what we could expect is a big green candle, a volume candle, volume wick here that's going to pop this sucker up out of here. You're not getting that, guys. You're getting decreasing volume. That means buyers are losing interest. Prices moving up on liquidations and stop losses. And longers are stepping in. People are longing this stuff, and eventually they're going to get wiped out. I'm telling you, do not be caught off guard by this. I don't know if it's going to be today or tomorrow. Now, remember, every time we have rallied into the FOMC swear-in ceremony. So just don't, that's what you call a buy the rumor, sell the news event. This guy, Kevin Warsh, is pro-Trump, right? He's conservative, he's Republican. He's Trump's guy. Trump selected this guy. Technically, he can't appoint him, but Trump backed him, and he got voted in. So everybody's expecting rate cuts because Trump wants rate cuts. He's not going to cut rates. He can't cut rates. Jerome Powell is staying on the board so that he still has a vote to ensure that the Republicans don't have the majority. So they are not going to cut rates. In fact, they're not even being priced in. Even with Kevin Warsh as head of the chair, the next probability is 94% that they stay the same. So they're not even pricing in a rate cut, but people think he has that power, but he doesn't. So they're pricing in bullishness, and I just think it's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. And we're fixing to come grab some liquidity, guys. Just be prepared. Just be prepared. I'm telling you, it's coming. And if Bitcoin hits this drop, guys, this will bring us into altcoins. If Bitcoin hits this drop, let's say it doesn't even take out 60K, which I don't really think it will, although it could. This time could be different. This time will be different one way or the other. This time will be different. We've discussed that. But even if it comes down and takes that low there, that's a 23% drop, guys. Most of your alts are going to do 40, 50% down. So I do think the next major daily red volume candle will be the last. Wherever Bitcoin price stops, that'll be it. You'll grind and work your way out. So, but that'll be the time, in my opinion, that I want to start looking at alts. So it's going to bring us into our altcoin. Let's see, Eons, do you know anything about hype? I do not. Everybody's talking about hype. Everybody is, but I don't know any. I really don't know anything about most of these coins. We could take a look, though. We could certainly take a look. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Dumping down. Bitcoin's taking a run. We talked about this yesterday. Bitcoin already tested this 80,500, which is the key to the upside. That doesn't mean it's key to the downside, though, okay? You got a little mini, I don't even want to call it a range, but it could become a range in between 80.5 and 79.5-ish, right in here, which is the key to the downside. Well, why is 80.5 not the key to the downside? Why is the key to the upside? So it held here from our big drop from 126K. It held, so that bounced. So that's the key to the upside. You find acceptance, you start closing daily, really a weekly candle up in here. You can expect higher prices. But our key to the downside, you can see we tested it with 79.4-ish, tested it 3 days in a row here, tested it here, tested it here, tested it here. That is the key to the downside. So you need to find acceptance back below 79.4 to expect downside price. In here is just could be a fight. Which one is going to win out, the bears or the bulls? But dropping below 80.5 does not equal key to the downside to me, because that is still not acceptance back in this range here. Okay? It is acceptance in the upper part of the range, but lower part of the range really starts here because you didn't actually retest 80.5 until the last few days. Hope that makes sense. So you really want to watch this struggle. I'm sitting on my hands until we find a weekly close here or a weekly close here. Those are ugly W's. Weekly close below this or weekly close above that. And then you can make a decision. There's nothing that can make me long this. I do think, even if we continue up to our box here, that we're at the very tail end of this move to the upside. I'm not saying crash down to 50K, but just pull back and grab some of this liquidity, at least. Plus, we're still looking for that red volume wick. Let me show you something interesting also. So, let me turn off this volume. All right. Let me go to bit stamp. I'm going to show you guys something interesting. Go back to bit stamp. I am still on the daily time frame. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second.
Cut the music.
I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. All right, let's dive right into this. So Bitcoin on the daily time frame, I'm on Bitstamp. We ran everybody, myself included, was looking for this 200-day. I'm still on the fib too, from the high to the low. This 200-day simple moving average, right? I think it's pretty common knowledge that being above that bull run territory, below that bear market territory. Front ran the golden pocket, which is coming in right at that 200-day. We front ran it, though, which is unusual, right? It's unusual to front run a golden pocket, and it's unusual to front run the 200-day, right? Wrong. Let me show you why. There is historical precedence for this in the bear market. If I could find a bear market. Here we go. All right, we're back in the 2022 bear market, coming up to that 200 daily SMA. Let's zoom in here. It's kind of hard to see. Look at that. We actually front ran it, man. We front ran it. Just barely, but we front ran it. You can see clear as day. We front ran that 200-day SMA. Big move down, massive move down, right? Massive move down. Let's see. Previous bear market before that. Look at this, guys. Look at this, guys. Show you multiple examples. Multiple. Let's zoom in here. Previous bear market. We're back in 2018 now. Look at this. Front run, big move down. Front run, massive move down. I mean, massive. Massive. The first front run gave you a move down of 11%. The next front run gave you a move down of 41%. Then you came back to it again, right? So you got front run, came back to it again, front run it again, guys. Front run it again for another 30% move down, and which actually turned out to be more like a 70% move down overall. But you front ran it 3 different times right here, right? Front ran it in 2022. We just showed that example, and which is right here. Slight front run. It is a front run, though. We just zoomed in on it. And now we've just front ran it again. So no surprise here that we front ran it. But Anthony, what about a front run of the golden pocket? That's unusual. You're right, it is. However, and I didn't catch this beforehand, which we could still come back up into it. That's why I didn't take the short. But when you're doing macro analysis, right, sometimes the more accurate way to look at things is a log scale, okay? Log scale. Do any of y'all ever do that? Versus linear, we usually analyze things on linear scale, okay? Because we're trading, we're intraday trading. Linear is more accurate to kind of short-term moves, kind of intraday, intra-week. But when you're looking at macro, log scale is based on a percentage scale. So I'm going to click on my fib here. Let's go into settings, and let's switch this at the very bottom, scroll down, fib levels based on log scale. Let's click that. And dude, we nailed the golden pocket. Actually, wick slightly above it. So on log scale, we did hit the golden pocket. And so far, we're rejecting from it. Now, it doesn't mean you can't come higher. 702 on log is at 84.6. So if we go back to linear, 84.6 is the top end of the golden pocket. So that would still be a good target. That 84.6 would put you right in the linear golden pocket, but also the log scale 702, which is my favorite fib. So if we come back up, I'm going to look to short our homestead at that level. Okay. Very, very interested in that level. Also coincides with kind of the bottom of the range right there, our previous range. We may not. We could just turn around right here. It would be par for the course. You know, I showed you multiple times. We front ran this 200-day SMA and had massive 40, 50, 60, 70% move downs. So we'll just see. But keep your eye. Set a target. Set an alert there at that 84.6 area, maybe a little before it, so you can be ready and be looking for that area. That is the top end. That's the 0.65 on linear and is the 702 on log. So just kind of be looking at that. Bitcoin moving down below 80.5K. Be looking, if you close the daily, certainly the weekly below 79.4. Look out for some downside movement. And guys, when we start the next downside move, don't listen to me. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's going to be a lower high. It's going to be one of these that, you know, this move up, you kept waiting for you kept waiting for it, and it never dumped. I think you're going to find the same thing, because everybody's looking for the lower high and continuation. Everybody's looking for it. And what's going to happen is they're going to keep longing. And they're just going to fuel the fire for the bears to stop them out. Thus creating short orders. Remember, stair step up, elevator down. You're going to see a big, in my opinion, fast capitulation week. We talked about a volume spike. You're going to see it. I don't know when, but I think it's coming in the next few weeks. Let's talk about these altcoins. Guys, put your alts in chat. I'm about to show you something that most of you probably don't look at, and it could change the game. I'm telling you right now, do not get married to any one altcoin, okay? Certainly before you check out what I'm about to show you. Stop, buddy. Edge is in here. You want to come say hey to the people? Come here. Come say hey. Oh, say hey. You say hey? Let me punch you in the face. This is his favorite thing. Not like a rocket punch, just like a boom. There he goes. Good boy. All right, I'll play with you in a little bit. Okay, let's take a look. My man Revamp first wants to look at SUI. Let's start on SUI. Let me say this again in case you're just now joining us. What I'm about to talk to you about, tokenomics technicals, okay? I understand certain coins have this partnership or this that they're going for, blah, 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 fundamentals, okay? That doesn't happen for 99.9% of coins. So, again, I will choose my coins based on tokenomics and technicals, and if we happen to get some good fundamental news later down the road, that's just a bonus. Damn dog. That's just a bonus. But don't base your selection on what might happen in the future, okay? You can't do that, because what if that falls through? What if the partnership falls through? What if a deal falls? What if your creative design team quits? Which happens, guys, for major coins, or they get hired away by a competitor. So based on technicals, then you'll do okay, and then you got a chance for a moon liftoff if you do get some fundamentals to follow through later. So let's look at SUI. I look at most coins when I'm doing historical analysis on Bitstamp, because Bitstamp generally has more history than any other exchange. Generally. Go. It just wired. It is raining. It is nasty. I get it. He's been trapped inside. It's been like that for like a week here. We had sun for like a day, and now it's back to rainy, nasty. So he's all hyper and wired up. Anyway, let's go to Bitstamp, SUI. Let me turn this stuff off real quick. All right. So what you want to see, I'm not even talking a fixed range volume profile or any liquidity, any of that. That is separate that is important, but it is separate for what I'm about to show you. So SUI, let's mark out a little all-time high here. SUI all-time high, 536, currently at $1, right? We're currently at about $1. Boom, okay? So if you were to return all-time high, let's assume the bottom is in. It's probably not. Well, let's assume the bottom is in. You were to go back to all-time high, that would give you a 4.5x from current price, right? About a 5x, probably about a 5x from bottom. Let's see. Yeah, almost a 6x from the bottom. Okay, 6x, 600% gain. That's if the bottom is in and it just returned to all-time high, okay? I'm about to show you why this coin will probably never hit an all-time high again, okay? If you're lucky to make it halfway up here, so from current price action halfway, and again, it can do whatever it wants to do. I could be wrong, but I mean, even if you made it up to $3, you're only getting a 200% gain. You know, you're not getting much. I'm going to show you why, and I'm going to show you what people overlook, okay? So what you would have to do, first of all, you want to go to CoinMarketCap. It's free. And you're going to want to use ChatGPT also, okay? I'm going to pull ChatGPT over here. There are other sites and this and that can show you what I'm about to show you. It's just don't overcomplicate it. Ask ChatGPT. It'll do the research for you in 5 seconds. Then take you a notebook or sticky pads and write down the things you ask it, okay? Because it's easy to then visualize and do some quick, easy math. All right. So what I want to know is, let's pull up SUI first. SUI on CoinMarketCap, okay? So right here on CoinMarketCap, it gives you all the good stuff on SUI, market cap, price, volume, circulating supply, all that kind of good stuff, right? What I'm interested in is the market cap, all-time market cap. So right here towards the top, you can click price or market cap. Price, I want to see market cap, okay? So then I'm going to go back to the price chart here, and I'm going to look and see where the all-time high was on SUI, which was, I'm on the weekly time frame here, guys. So it's close enough. I mean, you can narrow it into the daily. CoinMarketCap does it by daily, so, but I want to look on the weekly time frame just because it's not so much clutter. And that was the first week of January 25, okay? So I'm going to go back to CoinMarketCap, and I can see that right here clearly as day. January 7, 2025 was the high market cap. Okay, that coincides with the high of the price, right? Super simple. These things are very rarely different. Your high point of the market cap is going to be your high point of the price for whatever date you're looking for. Market cap there was $14.4 billion. Pay attention, guys. $14.4 billion. So what I would do, I would write down the date, January 7th. You're going to want to do this, guys, of 25, okay? Market cap was $14.4 billion and price was $536. Market cap, price. Okay? What I want to know is what the circulating supply, pay attention, guys, what the circulating supply of SUI was on that date. So hang on one sec. All right. And what you'll do, let me show you what you'll do. First of all, you can ask ChatGPT what was the circulating supply of SUI on that date. It'll tell you. Or here, let me type this in. Here's how things are calculated, okay? Price equals This is important, guys. You're going to make life-changing money or miss out on life-changing money if you don't pay attention to this. And I'm not talking fundamentals again. Price equals market cap. I'm sorry, that's not correct. Market cap divided by circulating supply. Okay? All right, so how do you figure out circulating supply? I have price and I have market cap. So circulating supply equals market cap divided by price. Okay? Circulating supply divided by price. All right. So right here we had a market cap. I'm going to show you real quick. You've got to do this, guys. You had a market cap on this date. So we're just going to call it MC of $14.4 billion divided by price of 5.36. Okay? This is I'm not trying to overcomplicate. It's just super. There's three freaking numbers. That's it. Price, market cap, circulating supply. That's all you need. So what is 14.4 divided by 5.36? 2.68. Okay? 2.68 billion. So that means 2.68 billion circulating supply or coins. That means that circulating supply is how many tokens or coins are in the market. You have 2.68 billion coins in the market, okay? Now, let's go back to coin market cap and let's look. So we had another high over here, right? Another high over here. July 15th of 2025. Pay attention to me, guys. Pay attention. Here's where I'm going to lose some of you and here's where I'm going to make life-changing money for some of you. July 15th. Let's write that down. 7/15 of 25. That is 6 months after the all-time high. You had another higher market cap of $14.1 billion. So pretty much the same. It was 14.4, now 14.1. Pretty much the same, right? That was July 15th of 2025. So let's go back and look at price of SUI in July of 2025. Okay. Right there. Boom. $4.50. Wait. So market cap was the same, but price was almost $1 less? How's that happen? Again, verify this with ChatGPT. Ask how many circulating supply, how many coins were on the market, circulating supply, on July 15th of 2025. Okay? But we can do that real quick with our trusty calculator because we know circulating supply was 14.18 billion. Let's call it 14.2 billion divided by 450. Circulating supply, right? Pay attention, was now 3.15 billion. Oh. Here it's 3.15 billion circulating supply, okay? So supply increase, guys. Sometimes these coins, they don't have all of their coins on the market yet. They do token unlocks, either daily, monthly, quarterly, annually, whatever it is. So more coins are released to the market. Think about it like this. If you have 10 of something, you have 10 diamonds, and there's only 10 in the world, and you have all 10 of them. They're worth however much money. Say $1,000 a piece, okay? 10 diamonds at $1,000. Well, somewhere somebody comes along and says, boom, I created 10 more diamonds. Now there's 20. So you're $1,000 a piece. You're now worth $500 a piece because there's more. There's twice as much. So the worth is half as much. Does that make sense? Supply and demand, right? Okay. So as supply is going up, it takes more money coming into the asset to reach the same high price. Okay. Pay attention. Let's go to SUI. Current circulating supply of SUI says right here, you see it right here on CoinMarketCap is 4 billion. So it's even higher than it was in July. It's even higher. The max total supply is 10 billion. So you're not even half of what's going to be unlocked. Not even half of what's going to be unlocked. So every month, every quarter, every day, whatever it is, more SUI are hitting the market, which means market cap has to get even higher. Okay, now, so if the 4-year cycle is intact, that means we would expect the cycle top to be somewhere around, let me turn this on. I have all of this for you. we would expect the next cycle top to be somewhere around Q4 of 2029, right? Cycle top this time was Q4 2025, so 4 years later, 2024, okay? By that time, and you can ask ChatGPT this, watch this. How many SUI tokens circulating supply will there be by the end of 2029? And it goes and researches all the unlock schedule for SUI, and it tells you by the end of 2029, SUI will have between 85 and 95%, okay, which is a right here, 8.5 to 9.5 billion SUI. Let's call it 9. Let's hit it in the middle. 9 billion SUI, okay? When SUI hit, I've already marked this out, the all-time high at 536, right there, you had less than 3 billion tokens. 3 billion, okay? So when you have 9 billion way over here in the next cycle, peak-ish of the next cycle, projected peak, that is over 3 times more coins, which means your market cap of 14 billion has to more than triple to hit this all-time high. You have to more than triple your market cap of SUI to even hit the all-time high. That is insane. That is going to put you at, you have to do a 3.3x. So 3.3 times 14.4 billion. You have to do almost a $50 billion market cap to hit an all-time high. That is outrageous. You will never, ever, ever hit an all-time high on SUI again. Never. Okay? So I know the chart looks good. The chart looks good. I mean, higher highs, higher lows. I get it. I get it. Higher highs, higher lows. It looks good. But you will never hit that all-time high again. I'm telling you, you will never do it. Let's ask ChatGPT, what are some altcoins that had a 50 billion market cap last cycle? You would have to hit somewhere around Solana, XRP, Cardano. You would have to hit some of those numbers. You are not going to do that, guys. You are not fixing to triple your market cap. That is so rare, it's not even funny. So rare. So currently at 4.01 billion circulating supply, you have a market cap of 4 billion and a price is only $1. Okay, price is only $1. If you were to match the same market cap today, you were to 3x, you would only be $3 today. And that's if you were at all-time high market cap. Your price would only be at $3, which is almost half of what it was previous price high. And just imagine when you have 9 billion coins circulating in the next cycle. So SUI is a no-go. And here's all the stats here just so you can see if you want to screenshot this. SUI is a no-go. It is going to get drowned. It's what's called a slow bleed. Like you're fighting an uphill battle with SUI. Even when things are taking off, like everything's looking good, it wants to go. Every day you're having more coins. So you're diluting. It is a dilution of value. Your value is getting diluted every single day because coins are being added to the market. I hope that makes sense, guys. This is going to save some of you who were just hyped up on SUI because the chart looks good. Yeah, the USD chart looks great, but it is not factoring in the daily unlock of coins and how much more capital it's going to take flowing into SUI, right? Which means the SUI Bitcoin pair is going to have to be, the Satoshi value is going to have to be through the roof, 3.3 times higher just to reach all-time high. It's never going to happen. You would be lucky to hit the all-time high, previous all-time high of market cap again. So right there, I have it written for you based upon the 9 billion circulating supply that's coming. If SUI hit the previous all-time high market cap of $14.4 billion in the next cycle, your price will only reach $1.60, which is not much more than it is now. And I know what you're thinking, it's already at $1. Oh, sure, 60 more cents, it could do that easily. Yes, it can at current circulating supply, which is $4 billion. But when you put it at $9 billion, that's not so easy to do. Which means every single day, if price just is not just going up every day that coins are added, price is going to be seeping down. And even when price isn't bleeding and buyers are stepping in. So let's say you have buyers stepping in every day, but not enough to exceed how many coins are being unlocked, your price is going to be flat or barely moving up because it's being suppressed every day by a diluted market that's being flooded with coins. I'm harping on this. But you need to go check out your coin. WorldCoin is the exact same way. Okay, let's go over to Fetch. Let me show you a coin and why I'm so high on Fetch. Okay, let me go show you Fetch. I hope this makes sense. If this doesn't make sense, ask questions, okay? Ask questions. You have to see how your circulating supply. What was it previously at peak highs? What was it previously? What is it now, and what is it projected to be in the next cycle? Let me show you a great example, Fetch. First of all, Fetch has the AI narrative, but never mind that stuff, okay? Never mind the fundamentals. Never mind the chart looks good. Okay, let's go look. I've already written all this stuff out. So, and go fact check me if you don't believe me on CoinMarketCap. So at all-time high, price all-time high, about 348, 350, call it 350, right here in March of 24, Fetch had a circulating supply of $750 million, 750 million coins, a market cap of $2.6 billion. Let me show you how this affects price negatively and the positive that can come from this, okay? All right, 2.61 billion. Well, let's fast forward 8-9 months to December of 24. Fetch set the market cap all-time high at 5.2 billion, which is double. Exactly double the market cap of the price all-time high. So Fetch did twice as much volume. The market cap was double, but yet price was $1.20, was 30% less. Okay, so instead of 350, we were at 220, even though we doubled the market cap. Why? Because circulating supply went from 750 million to 2.3 billion. That is a 3x on price, which is why price is a third less. Okay, 3 times more. Okay, does that make sense? 3 times more. So price could not even come close to the all-time high, even though you doubled market cap. Here's the good news. Today, Fetch is at 22 cents. The circulating supply is 2.3 billion. The circulating supply here was 2.3 billion. No more coins have been added to the market. Okay, let's go look at Fetch on CoinMarketCap. Pay attention to that. No more coins have been added to the market cap or been added to the market. What does that mean, guys? What does that mean? That means if no more coins are added to the market, period, if no more coins are added by the next cycle, Fetch can return at least to $2.20 if it just matches its previous market cap high. Fetch happens to fall in the AI category, which is the hot category, so it could certainly exceed it, but never mind that. Let's plan on things just hitting their previous market cap high, not exceeding them. Some of them won't hit it. Some of them will go higher. Some of them will just hit it. So let's just assume for our looking at coins that we were interested in that they're just going to match it. They're not going to exceed it. They're not going to do worse. They're not going to do better. They're just going to do what they did last cycle. That's it. Not price-wise. Never mind price. They're just going to do what they did on market cap. Okay? If Fetch does that because the coins are the same, you can expect Fetch to 10x from here. Okay? Period. Plain and simple. Well, okay, let's look at the next cycle. How many coins will be in circulation? Okay, so let's go back to our CoinMarketCap. There's 2.25, says 2.25 billion circulating supply. The max supply for Fetch, period, ever, that will ever be in the market is 2.7. So you are like 90% in. That's it. 2.7 is the absolute max. Whereas Sui is at 4 billion circulating supply with a max of 10 billion. Okay, max of 10 billion. So you're not even half. You're 40% of the coins on the market. 60% of the coins are still going to be flooded in. Only 10% left, okay? And I happen to ask ChatGPT already on Fetch, and the other 10% of Fetch is not set to be unlocked until 2050. Okay, so 10% will come out in 24 years. So Fetch is riding 2.3 billion into the next cycle, which is exactly what it had in the last cycle. Not the all-time high. The only reason for this, Fetch had a merger with another company, and that other company had coins, and they merged the tokens. Okay, otherwise Fetch could just freaking rip. Fetch has already done like a 40,000% gain. But there was a merger, and there's no more tokens set to unlock until 2050. And even then, it's only less than $500 million, 400 million, which is nothing. But it will not affect next cycle. So this is a perfect coin to look for because it just has to do what it did before. Nothing more, nothing fancy. Just do what you did before, and you're getting back to 220, which is a 10x from current price. And from the low here at 11 cents, that's 15, 16x. This is what you want to look for, guys. You want to look for a coin that most of the circulating supply is already out. If it's not already out, if it's not 100% out, you want to look at the unlock schedule. Just ask ChatGPT. Show me the unlock schedule for such and such coin. Or if you don't even want to go into that, don't want to figure it out, when do we think the next cycle top's going to be? You can even generalize it. Show me how many coins for whatever coin will be in circulating supply by 2020, the end of 2027, the end of 2028, the end of 2029, whatever you think the next top will be. If it's a 4-year cycle, you're going to be looking at Q4 2029. What will the circulating supply be then? And then just pull out your little calculator. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And if there's a significant difference from your high at the last cycle, your circulating supply, then there's going to be a significant difference in your price, assuming you go back to the same market cap. It's so easy, guys, but people are overlooking this. Now that you know this, anybody interested in SUI should absolutely have your head examined. And I'm not knocking you, but I'm telling you, do you really expect a coin called SUI? I don't even know what SUI does. Is going to do triple, 3.5 times the market cap it did before to put itself up there with Solana? Maybe it does. I don't know anything about it, but I know the likelihood of that is slim. And I know the likelihood of a coin like Fetch reaching those prices with the exact same circulating supply is very high. I'm going to take the very high category every single time. WorldCoin's in the same boat as SUI. Looks exactly the same. Terrible. But I'm still big on WorldCoin because I'm an idiot. WorldCoin has 3.32 billion in circulating supply. When it hit an all-time high up here, it had like 300 million. So only 300 million. It's already 10 times more coins in the market than it had at a high of $12, which means it has to do a 10 times higher market cap to reach $12 again. It will never do that. And WorldCoin has daily unlocks. Daily. So every single day, coins are being added to the market. By Q4 2029, WorldCoin is set to have about 6.5 billion, which is 20 times more than it had at the all-time high of $12. So WorldCoin would have to do a 20x on its market cap to reach that. 20x. That will never happen. The only way that happens is if it does catch global reach, which it's trying to. It wants to be what all the governments base their voting system on. You got to scan your face, ding, scan your eyeball, ding, to vote. If that happens, sure, you could 20x your market cap, for sure. But you can't bet on that happening. You have to go by the TA. And the analysis is that will never, ever, ever, ever happen again. I hope that makes sense, guys. So WorldCoin's a terrible choice. Terrible. To give you an idea, WorldCoin had started unlocks. Let's just briefly look at this. My chart's a little mess. I don't have it all clean like those. But WorldCoin at 12 bucks. That was in March of 24. Had a market cap of $1.5 billion, okay? Fast forward, you had a whole bunch of unlocks. You hit a market cap here of 3.2 billion. So 1.4 to 3.2, that's almost triples, 2.5 times higher market cap. So you would think I doubled my market cap, so 2.5 times. So instead of being at 12 bucks, I should be at 30 bucks, $30 WorldCoin. You did 2.5 on market cap. Why is price not 2.5 times higher? What was price at September of 25? Right here, $2.20. $2.20. How much less is that? 80%. Your price was 80% less than all-time high. 80% less. Even though your market cap was 2.5 times greater. Why? Because between this high at $12 and this high at $2.20, the market was diluted with tons and tons, billions of unlocked tokens, which is exactly what's happening to SUI right now. Which is why at 2.5 times market cap, you were still 80% from your all-time high. It massively affects price. You have to be aware of your circulating supply, guys. I know I'm beating this horse. I know I'm trying to drive it home. But I know some of you are married to your coins. You just got it in your head you're going to take SUI. You got it in your head you're going to take WorldCoin. You're going to watch the rest of us posting big profits while your market cap is going up. But your US dollar pair price is not. Because your circulating supply is also going up, which circulating supply going up, market cap going up, price is not going up because your circulating supply is going up faster than your market cap. Only so much money is going to pour in the market, guys. Only so much money. A lot of coins to spread it around. Why would they 3x your coin? Why would they 20x WorldCoin just to reach all-time high in price? They won't. You can't even throw a fib on this stuff, guys. You can't even throw a fib on this. You could throw a fib on a coin that has most, I'd say 80% of its circulating supply out there. You can throw a fib on that. If you want to fib anything and shoot for a golden pocket or 786 retrace, throw a fib on your market cap. And then do a little rough estimate with calculator there on circulating supply times market cap, what price would be. Or excuse me, circulating supply divided by market cap. Figure out what your price would be. You can do that, but you can't do it on price. It doesn't work that way when you have an increasing circulating supply. I hope this helps some of you. I really do. This is key. And it really messed me up last cycle because I didn't understand this. I'd heard it. I seen it. I looked at it. But I was married to a coin because I made a boatload of money on this coin last time. I was married to it. Just had to have it. Like, despite the naysayers, they didn't know. I was familiar with this coin. There was naysayers on this coin when I bought it, and it did well. There's still naysayers. What do they know? I'm telling you. My coin even did a higher market cap last cycle, but price was 60% less. Circulating supply diluted the market. It's not that people didn't buy the coin. A lot of people bought it. More people bought it, invested in it this time than last time. Price just didn't go nearly as high because there were more coins. So it doesn't mean people don't believe in your project. It just means the creators of your project screwed you on price, and they promised coins to early investors, and they could get them at different periods of time as they unlock. Yeah, you give me $100,000 to invest in this. I'm going to give you 100,000 coins, and you're going to get to unlock them in 2028, and you can dump them on the market. It's because they screwed you in the long run because they needed early capital to start up their project, which I get. I'm not knocking them, but I'm telling you, it screws retail investors in the long run. So pay attention to that, guys. I'm going to stop harping on it now. Carrie Benz, good morning. Wayne, what's up, bro? Salt chain. I hope this is making sense. Nobody's saying anything. I'm either way over your head or you think I'm full of it. One of the two. Apt. APT USD. Can't do it. Can't do it. Unless there's a chart with more history on it. Yeah, I guess we could. Let's look at Apt real quick. We're going to coin market. I've never looked at Apt. APT. I use Aptos though when I send USDT. All right. So let's look at the market cap. I'll show you how to do one from the ground up here, okay? This will take a few minutes. I'm sorry, but if you want to walk through one, I know I had the others prepared. Let's walk through Aptos together. I'm assuming this is probably the beginning of Aptos. Let's see. Yeah, go back to late 2022. I'm on the Coinbase chart. Yeah, this looks like it's about the beginning. I don't like it that there's not a lot of history here. But let's look at the high. I don't like this first high, though, guys. I'd rather count the second high. This is when most of the crypto market set a high. And I know that this high was slightly higher. However, this is like initial release stuff, and I don't like that. This is when price action actually developed. I don't ever add this into my analysis when the coin was released. Because you know a lot of people that initially sell or buy, and it's just coins start hitting the market, and this is where your real price action develops. So we're going to count this in our statistics, okay? Actually, this might be a good example. This is a good example. All right, so I'm going to write this stuff down. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at these highs. We're going to take both these highs. This is January of 23. And then this next high was March of 24. You guys want to do your own coin, roll through this with me. Salt Chain says this is just a lot. A lot to think about. Caribbean says, why don't the coins change the strategy for getting those coins on the market? What do you mean? Why don't the coins change the strategy for getting those coins on the market? I'm not sure what that means. All right, so let's go look. Coin market cap. Oh, wait. Price in January was the high of $20.39. And the high in March was 1948. Okay, let's go take a look. The market cap in that January high was let's call it 2.7 billion. 2.7 billion. And in March was 7.2 billion. Hang on one second, guys. Using my own trusty calculator here. Okay, guys. So let's go back to Aptos here. So here's what we had. So let's write this stuff down. So right here at the high, we had $20.39 price, $2.7 billion market cap. So we had 2.7 divided by 20.39, which is going to give us 132 million circulating supply. Okay, 132 million circ supply. Okay, you follow me, guys? And this next peak high here, we had a price. This is a good example. 1948, 7.2 billion market cap. Pay attention, guys. Okay, so you had almost a triple market cap, but price didn't even hit the same high. It's crazy. So we got 7.2 divided by 19.48, 369.6. Let's call it 369 million circ supply. Okay. So you had triple the circulating supply, which is why you tripled the market cap, but did not hit a price all-time high, okay? So let's see how many coins Aptos has circulating today. You see right here, 807 million, okay? So let's go back and put that. 807 million circ supply. What is your market cap today? Is 820 million. Did I look at that right? 820 million. And price is $1. 1.01. All right, so if you 10x'd your market cap today, 10x your market cap, you would have a higher market cap. If you 10x this, that's going to give you an $8.2 billion market cap, right? 10x. Pay attention, guys. 10x, which is higher than you had in the last cycle. You got a 7.2 billion, but let's just say you 10x'd it. Get you an 8.2, which is slightly higher. You would still only have a $10 Aptos. You would have to beat the previous market cap to have half as much price. Does that make sense? Half as much. $10. 10x this, 10x that. Half as much. Now, that's at 807 million circulating supply. It looks like the max supply is 2.1 billion Aptos. So you still have almost 3 times more coins hitting the market. So let's go ask ChatGPT. We're going to assume Q4 2029. Assume whatever you want, but that is the 4-year cycle. How many tokens will be in circulating supply for Aptos in Q4? Let's just say in October 2029. Let's see how many coins. About 1 billion. Okay, about 1 billion. So a little bit more than you have now. You have 800. So about 1 billion. It's expecting 1 billion circ supply Q4 2029. Okay, so what that means is if you did the same market cap as before, you did the same market cap as before, 7.2 billion. $7.2 billion divided by 1 billion market cap. That would give you a $7.20 right there. That's where you could expect to make it to. $7.20. That's if you did the same market cap, which is a third of your all-time high. So what I'm telling you guys, you got to look at your token unlock schedules, guys. And there's websites that give you, you can go into each one of these sites and somewhere they'll have their token unlock, but it's just easier to ask ChatGPT, in my opinion. I mean, that won't even take you to a 382 of your all-time high. Close to a 382. That's if you reached. That's why you can't go by this. You would have to go by a fib from your market cap, guys. Give me 1 second.
Cut the music.
All right, guys. So once you find a coin that you're interested in that pretty much doesn't have any more coins that are going to be unlocked before the next cycle, let's go back to Fetch and use that as an example. Just because of the ones we've looked at, that is the only one. Okay, once you have that, you know, you got the narrative stuff. Okay, Fetch, and I'm not going to get into the narrative. People can debate narrative, but you know, Fetch we know is in that AI category, so it's a good narrative to have. But aside from that, what else are we looking at here? Let me go to the longer chart here. You want to look at the structure of the chart then. Okay, I've got a coin. It's not being diluted. Okay, so I like that. That's a big check mark in the yes category. But now I want to look at structure. Okay, well, this coin here, never mind the narrative, you're putting in a series of higher highs and higher lows for the life of the coin, which goes all the way back to 2019. This coin's been around for 7 years and never set a macro lower low, never. Okay, well, I can fib this. Well, why? You said not to fib them. No, I said not to fib coins on price that have circulating supply being added to the market, but Fetch doesn't, okay? So I can expect it to behave like a normal asset because it's not being diluted. Does that make sense? So I absolutely can fib this. And I put the fib on the wrong one. Boom. And that has me up here, a golden pocket. Right here at this swing high, okay? Golden pocket right here at the swing high at about $2.20, okay? Between $2.20 and $2.30 would be to take out this swing high, okay? That would be the golden pocket. And again, I can do this because it's not being diluted with coins. Let's go look at our Bitstamp chart that I did the analysis on. Remember that 220 is that high. That is our golden pocket Fibonacci retracement, okay? All right, let's go see. Well, what do you know? What do you know? In the last cycle, Fetch set this original all-time high with a lower circulating supply, but then it had a merger and added about triple the coins and doubled the market cap and set an all-time high here, which is what we projected. We would like to see the coin do the same market cap all-time high, never mind price. Maybe it does a little more, a little less, but our goal would be the same market cap. And if it does the same market cap because the circulating supply is exactly the same, And the rest of the coins are not scheduled to be released until 2050. We could expect to move back up to $2.20 because coins match. Therefore, let's look for the same market cap. And what does that coincide with? Guys, we just pulled it up on the chart, the golden pocket. So my target for fetch, it could far exceed it. I don't care. My minimum target for fetch is $2.20. That's the golden pocket on an asset that is not being diluted by circulating supply. That is the all-time high market cap for it at $5.2 billion. And that is a coin that has a bullish market structure that has never set a lower low macro before. So I could at least expect a golden pocket retracement, if not a new all-time high, but at least a golden pocket retracement on an AI coin that is in the hottest sector of all of crypto. This is what you look for. There's nothing else. This is the coin that you look for. Sure, there may be coins that do thousands of X. I don't care. This is structurally and fundamentally the coin you look for. And I'm not trying to push fetch. I'm just trying to tell you guys, I haven't found a coin that looks better with tokenomics. Yeah, I haven't found one. Maybe they're out there. Maybe you got one. Let's see. Caribbean says, well, they choose when and how they increase supply. That should be able to be changed, just like central bank. That's in the white paper, bro. I mean, there's nothing you and I can do about that. There's token unlock schedules. You can ask ChatGPT or go look it up. Each coin, there's sites that give you token unlock schedules, and you can see how many coins you're going to hit the market on what date. Like WorldCoin is daily. And as I can't remember how many millions hit the market daily. Some of them have, what are they called? Like cliff unlocks, I think, where they're large, like 1 billion tokens are released on, whatever, December 31st, 2026. Some of them have things like that. So you can find those, but we can't change that. But I agree. I mean, not all coins are bad like that. I agree. It just depends on how it was written in the white paper. And for some coins, when they did partnerships and mergers, it's what you promise your early investors. Hey guys, I need some money. I need $1 million. Whatever. I need $100 million. Each of you invest $1 million. I'm going to give you 1 million coins, but not all at once. So we're going to have 1 million coins unlocked every 6 months, whatever it is, however they do that. But all that is decided early on, like as soon as a coin is released. So if you're interested in a brand new coin, you can go look at that. It may not be something you want to invest long-term depending on the token unlocks, but I agree. And it's not universal for every coin. So some coins do it in a good way. I hate the way WorldCoin does it, which is daily, because that's just every day, just a constant punch in the face every single day. I'd rather you do it annually or semi-annually. That way you can prepare for it. Yeah, it's going to suck on that day when you're flooded with 500 million coins, but you can overcome that, and you can plan for that, and you can sell or buy accordingly versus just every day relentless pressure. So like on WorldCoin, on the day where Bitcoin goes down 1% and some altcoins go down 2%, WorldCoin's going down 4% because not only is it going down with the market, it's getting flooded every day with coins. And on days where Bitcoin goes up 1% and altcoins go up 2%, WorldCoin may only go up 0.5% because it's being flooded with coins. So it sucks. But it is what it is. WorldCoin is only being held up. It could possibly do well in the next market because of the literal global possible reach it could have. How did you calculate market cap with circulating supply for Q4 29, or was it a guesstimate? ChatGPT gave me that, but there's other sites. Each coin is going to have a site, its own dedicated site, if it's a legitimate project, where it lists its unlock schedule. So you go search that for each coin. That's just a pain in the ass. It's just easier for me to ask ChatGPT. It can quickly find those sites and give me the info. Questions, guys? I know we harped on these coins a long time. Let's look at the poll. But it's important because I think a lot of people are looking to get their invests in now. So our poll, which coins are you interested in? Zcash is the one. Guys, I want to advise against Zcash at current level. Let me tell you why. I don't even have to look at the token unlock for Zcash to let you know that Zcash is at all-time high or very near it. And just how much higher can this thing go? I mean, it's at $600, close to it. Can it go to 20 grand? Sure, it can. But what are the odds? Zcash has been around for 8 years. And it has hit this high almost like you call it 4 times. It's hit near this high, this range high, and never broken it. Can it? Yeah, sure it can. But gosh, how much higher can it go? Maybe it can go a lot higher. I don't know. But what are the odds of that? You don't invest in coins at all-time high. That's just bad. That is just bad. You invest in coins that it looks great. The coin looks great. It looks great. Don't get me wrong. But you want a coin to do a 10 or 20x, right? Correct? Is that what you want? That's what I want. Name one coin you've ever seen in one cycle ever do a 10x from previous all-time high. Name one. I challenge you to name one coin that's doing a 10x from previous all-time high. This coin has been around for 3 cycles. Name one coin that is doing a 10x from previous all-time high. I mean, this coin would have to go to like $7,000 to do that. Name one coin, please. I'm not even being smart. I would love to look at it. You want a coin that has kind of been beat down, and I keep going back to Fetch because it looks great. It has kind of been beat down from the high, but it still is maintaining macro bullish structure. That'd be like Fetch still hanging out here near the high, 350. Fetch still hanging out here at $2 and thinking it's going to go to 30. Could it? Yeah, sure it could. But what are the odds? Isn't it much more likely it's going to 10x from right here, which doesn't even put it to all-time high? Isn't it that much more likely that it's just going to put it to a golden pocket retrace? We already know the tokenomics are good. The circulating supply is steady. Don't go fib your coin without understanding the circulating supply and the token release. Don't go do it because you're going to get wrecked. You're going to be looking for a 618 or you're not even going to make a 236 if you're being flooded with coins, period. But and Zcash, I'm not knocking Zcash. It looks phenomenal. But what are the odds of it 10x and its all-time high in one cycle? What are the odds? I mean, Bitcoin doesn't even do that. 2 cycles ago, all-time high was 20K. You went 69K. You 3x'd it, 3.5x. Last cycle, you didn't even 2x all-time high. But you think Zcash is going to 10x an all-time high? It just doesn't make sense to me. I would love Zcash if you could get a good pullback. Absolutely, man. You give me Zcash at $50, $60, I will take it all day long. But I am not buying Zcash at $500 or $600 when your all-time high is just right here at $900, $800, whatever. It's crazy. It's crazy. People are going to get wrecked on this coin. I'm not saying you can't make something and that it won't set a new all-time high, but you will recover this imbalance at some point. Let me tell you something. If Bitcoin does roll over and do that 60, 70% drop, which I'm not calling for, okay, I'm not calling for that. But if it does, this coin is certainly fixing to get smashed. There's a huge imbalance here, guys. Huge. This is a target for Wreck City, guys. If you lose this right here, you are coming to point of control. Mark my words. Best case scenario I put on here, orange line that's been on here for a couple of months, $83. Best case scenario, and I would love it there. I would freaking love it there. That'd be great. Yes, sir. But people interested in Zcash here, yeah, you can make money, but you're going to be celebrating your 2x while the rest of us are celebrating our 10, 15x, in my opinion. Don't marry a coin, guys. Best advice I have. I don't care how pretty it looks. Go for that one that is going to get the job done. All right, guys, that's it for me. If you don't have any questions, no low leverage short on what? Zcash? I don't leverage trade altcoins. What's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin moving down. We're below 80.5. This is the area you guys want to watch for. I'm telling you, watch between 80.5 and 79.4. That is going to be the fight, guys. That is going to be the fight. Telling you guys. Look how much they fought it here. Fought it. They know key to the upside, key to the downside. What happens here is going to determine what happens over the next month. I'm telling you. I think that's what you get. Even if you come swoop this one more time, I still think you get that. Have we changed market structure? Okay, we've changed market structure on a 30. Got a good little head and shoulders pattern here. Playing that out right now. You don't get a 4-hour market structure change. This wick doesn't count. This is a scam wick. It's only on Bybit, but you don't get a 4-hour market structure change until here about 78K. But a daily closure below 79.5, 79.4 would do it for me. But technically 78K would be your change of market structure. You could look for something like that, pull it back, continuation down, trade there. So something like that. All right, guys, that's it for me. I'm going to get out of here. I'll be in Discord. Oh, by the way, one last thing. Discord announcement. We are starting next month, VIP Discord. You can get all my trade setups, trade management, all that stuff will be free. All you have to do, sign up to KCEX or MEXC using a link in the description of the video. You can go directly there. I'm spamming chat. MEXCtrading.us or KCEXtrading.com. Either one of those links. You have to use one of those links that will put you on our team. Once you do that, you get a UID. I can't do anything over the UID. It's just a number assigned to your account. Message me in Discord, me or Catherine in Discord, or open a ticket. Send me your UID. You will automatically be added to the VIP Discord. You get all of our trade setups. Join the community. Chat it up. You get all the dang red box trades, all that good stuff for free. And these are the lowest fees exchanges. It is a free account on these exchanges. You don't have to pay for them. So do it. Get in the Discord. Send me your UID. You'll be added for free. Of course, you can still purchase the VIP Discord if you do not want to use one of those links, but just something we're extending to everyone next month. So get on there, send it to me today, and I will add you guys. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. We're going to keep making a lot of money. Life-changing money on altcoins. Do your research. Do what I showed you. Go rewatch that segment if you didn't catch it the first time. It will save you from making minimal profits when you could be making big profits. I guarantee you guys. Lord loves you. It's a good day.